Have you ever walked into a workshop or past a huge construction site and just felt completely lost? With all the gadgets and machines everywhere? It kind of feels like you're looking at a foreign language. But what if you had a simple way to decode it all? Well, in this explainer, we're going to give you that exact key.
Just take a look at this workshop. It's a pretty classic scene, right? A little cluttered, super busy, and just packed with specialized gear. It looks really complex, but what if you could understand not just what everything is, but why it's even there in the first place? That's the key we're handing you today. Okay, so before we jump into identifying all these different objects, let's take a second to talk about why this even matters. This isn't just a naming game. It's about really getting the power that these objects hold to get a job done right. You see, the right objects are really the backbone of any technical work. They're what let people work faster and a whole lot smarter. They're also absolutely crucial for safety, protecting folks from all kinds of hazards on the job. They deliver the incredible precision you need to meet super strict standards. And what's maybe the most exciting part, they are literally the instruments of innovation, constantly pushing the boundaries of what we can even do. So how do we make sense of all this organized chaos, let's call it? Well, we start by cracking the code. And that just means breaking everything down into three simple, fundamental categories: tools, equipment, and materials. First off, we've got the most basic category, the tool. The best way to think about a tool is as an extension of your own hand. It's a handheld device, and it's built for one specific direct action. It's really the simplest and, a lot of the time, the most essential building block of all. And here's a perfect example. That wrench you see there, it isn't just a random piece of metal. It's the perfect solution to a single problem: how to apply torque to a nut or bolt. It has one job, and it does that job perfectly. Simple, direct, essential. That right there is the essence of a tool. Now for our next category, we're going to level up in complexity. Let's talk about equipment. These are the bigger, more sophisticated machines that usually need some specialized training or knowledge to even use. They basically take a task and either automate it or just amplify it on a huge scale. This 3D printer is an amazing example. It's not some simple thing you hold in your hand, right? It's a really complex system that has totally changed the game for prototyping. It takes a design that exists only on a computer and brings it to life, right into the physical world, one layer at a time. I mean, that's the real power of equipment. Okay, so we have tools and we have equipment, but what are they actually working on? That brings us to our third and final category, materials. This is the physical stuff, the raw substances that get cut, shaped, joined together, and ultimately transformed into something new. Just look at these metal components. As they are right now, they're just raw potential. But with the right tools and the right equipment, they can become pretty much anything. A part for a car engine, a piece of a skyscraper, you name it. They're the very starting point of creation. All right, now you've got the three core categories down. So let's put them to work with your official decoder ring, a super simple 4-step guide that you can use to identify and understand pretty much any object in any technical setting. Here's how it works. First step is to just observe. Take a good look around and scan the whole environment. Second, categorize. Start mentally sorting things into our three buckets: tools, equipment, and materials. Third, identify. Look for unique things: the shape, the size, any labels or brand names. And fourth, and this one is so important, consider the context. An object's purpose can totally change depending on if it's in a sterile lab or on a giant construction site. Theory is great and all, but let's take our new guide out for a spin in the wild. We're going to apply our 4-step method to two very different real-world scenarios just to see how it holds up. And here we go. On one side, you have the clean, precise world of an engineering workshop, where you find things like 3D printers. On the other side, you've got the huge, rugged scale of a construction site. We're using the same principles, but in totally different worlds. So let's do a little rapid-fire identification using our guide. A 3D printer? We know that one. It's equipment, used for prototyping in a workshop. What about an excavator? Also equipment, but its context is a construction site, and its job is massive earthwork. A multimeter? It's small, it's handheld, that makes it a tool for measuring electricity. A torque wrench? Another tool, but for the very specific task of precise tightening. See how it works? The category plus the context tells you everything you need to know. Okay, so we've defined our categories, we've applied our method. Let's wrap it all up and boil it down to the most important points that you should definitely take away from all this. So what's the big takeaway here? Just remember these 4 things. First, all these objects are absolutely essential. Without them, the work just doesn't happen. Second, they are critical for both safety and precision. Third, their applications are incredibly diverse, spanning all kinds of industries you might not even think of. And finally, remember that this world is always, always evolving. Today's cutting-edge equipment might be a museum piece tomorrow.
And all of that leaves us with one last really powerful question to think about. I want you to look ahead 5, 10, maybe even 20 years. Whether your passion is engineering, construction, medicine, or even art, how do you think future advancements will completely change the tools and equipment you'll be using? The answer to that question is where the future is being built right now. Thanks for watching.